Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to share this with you today. So I found this kalimba on Amazon. It's by this company called KalimbaGo. And it is apparently a smart kalimba. Do you remember maybe back in the day you were one of those kids who had a keyboard and you could like tell it to teach you songs and the keys would light up, the ones that you needed to play? And I had one of those. It was a lot of fun. And basically this is the same concept in a kalimba. So let's open it up and I'm going to show it to you because I'm super excited. Okay, here we go. Open this up, put this brown paper out of the way. Awesome. It comes in its own fancy box here. It's fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to cut this tape down here. Sorry, I am the worst with scissors sometimes. Okay, now we're ready. This looks really cool. And it even comes with a nice case. I'm super excited about this. Okay, so I've got it in its super nice case. Let's open this up. Okay, this way. So here is the kalimba. And this looks like a pretty standard hollow body kalimba. So I'm just going to give this a try, see if it's in tune. It is in tune, and it actually sounds really nice, even those top tones. They sound nice. Awesome. So we've got our super nice kalimba. Of course, it comes with a tuning hammer, as you would expect. And then over here is where we're going to get to the good stuff. Okay, so this is the little thing that goes on top. And I believe, we're going to see in the rest of the video, I'm going to test this out, but I do believe that this actually works with any like standard 17-tine kalimba. So we've got it. We're going to need some batteries for it. So I'm going to go find some batteries and let's try this out. Okay, so as soon as you put the batteries in, this is the first screen that you are greeted with. This is the music menu. Now we're going to use these little arrow keys in the corner to find a song that we might want to play. So, okay, here's Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Oh, and they have numbers as difficulty ratings. I think 5 is the highest and 1 is the lowest. So we're going to try and choose something not too hard for our first go on. We're going to try My Heart Will Go On from Titanic. That'll be a fun one. Okay, so we've chosen that one. I'm going to press the circle to get it started. Okay, this is our like beginning screen. And there you go. You can see the little lights falling are indicating which times we're going to play. This is very cool. Now it's kind of a wobbly, like a black line going across the screen on the video, but it's not like that in real life. I think that's just my camera picking up the LED. So let's attach this to the kalimba. It just slides right on the bridge here, and we're going to try it. Okay, so I'm going to try My Heart Will Go On, and I have tried it at 0.75 speed, and I have tried it at half speed, but I think I'm going to go all the way down to 1/4, 0.25 speed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play a song for you. So this is interesting. What I noticed was I kind of let this sit overnight, because I had some other stuff to do and I wasn't able to finish the video in just one day. I noticed that the library actually updated with just a ton of songs overnight. So I'm not sure how many are on there now. There were 20 on there when I first got the kalimba, I think, or 14, somewhere around there. It was not like a small number, but not a huge number. But now like I keep scrolling through it and I got to about 35 or 40 when I was counting, and then to be honest, I didn't want to count anymore because there were a lot of songs on there. I did notice that I still didn't see in those 30 to 40 songs any that were rated a 1. so not super easy for beginners. But there were quite a few 3s in there, and a lot of the songs had a 5 version, so very difficult, and a 3 version, not as difficult. So I did appreciate that variety. Okay, so after playing this, I have some thoughts. This is a remarkable and super new and very brilliant concept, honestly. Really, the only trouble that I'm having with it is that sometimes, and see, now it sounds fine, but the first time that I put this on, it really had some difficulty. Like there, you can still hear it. It's kind of blocking off some of the notes on this kalimba. And I think some of that has to do with positioning. Like I think you can position it in such a way that it would not be bothered. Like for instance, now you can hear this. It still does have some buzzing, but mostly it's okay. Earlier, I must have had it in a super wonky position because it just did not sound great. But I did also notice, I tried it on one of my other kalimbas. I just got this one the other day. This beautiful fall themed one. And it had 0 problems with buzzing or anything on this one. It sounded super clear. So I'm going to put a link to this one down in the description as well. It's actually super cheap. So if you want to give that one a try. One thing that I did notice was, because I tried this on a lot of my different kalimbas, one thing I did notice is that if you look at 2 kalimbas side by side, you will see this little piece of metal right here is a little bit, it's pretty high above the tines on this one, but on this kalimba you can see that same piece of metal is not leaving nearly as much room between it and the tines. And that is the important piece of metal for this particular KalimbaGo product. So if you have a kalimba that's like this one and it just does not have a lot of room on there, I think that's where you're going to run into that issue where it's making things sound more muted, and it's going to be harder to get it on there. So if that's what you have, then maybe consider picking up a second kalimba so you can use this with it. And it's a great way to learn songs as well as to play songs. But I just absolutely love this because it is exactly the way that professional musicians and teachers say you should practice. First rule of practicing something well is that you should always play with a metronome. And if you don't know what a metronome is, it's like basically the sound maker that makes a steady, specific beat, often with a really annoying sound. Like it's just beep, 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 so that you know when the beat is, because that helps you to sort of internalize the feel of the songs and internalize a beat, so you're not always rushing during some parts and slowing down during some parts. Especially my tendency, and a lot of people's tendencies, is when you get to a difficult part you slow down, because of course it makes it easier to play. So it's really, really beneficial to practice with a metronome. The second thing that I love so much about practicing with this is that you can change the speeds on it. All music teachers will tell you that the absolute best way to practice something that you really want to learn is to slow it way, way down. If you can't play it proficiently, then you probably shouldn't be practicing it at that speed, is basically what it comes down to. You want to go way back to a speed at which you can play it decently well, and then once you've mastered that, you keep going a little faster, a little faster, a little faster. So this absolutely facilitates better practice habits, which I know a lot of kalimba players are not getting lessons, or are not planning to do this in any professional capacity, obviously. It's just, for most people, I think this is just a fun instrument to have. And I absolutely encourage you, if you are just playing kalimba for fun, to do what you enjoy, because ultimately that is absolutely the most important thing, is that you are having fun and enjoying yourself. And I would never want to ruin anyone's enjoyment of music by being, I don't know, beating you up about your practice habits or whatever. You do you. With all that said, I think if you're the kind of person who takes joy in being really successful and really good at something, then those tips will really help you, those practice tips. And one way to sort of emphasize that for yourself, or like make it something that has to happen, is to go with this awesome KalimbaGo box, because it makes you do it the right way. So I think it's awesome. It's honestly, even if you're not a beginner at the kalimba, this is just such a super cool thing. I think the idea is just amazing. If you would like to pick up one of these for yourself, I will put a link down in the description. You can grab it on Amazon. And if you have any questions, please do feel free to ask me down in the comments. I love talking to you guys, and I would absolutely love to talk to you more about this awesome thing, because it's so cool. Thank you all so much for watching and for your support. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. Thank you all so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and click on that subscription button right up there. Otherwise, if you would like to join my Patreon or buy me a coffee, the links to those are down in the description. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day.